everyone, welcome to RMSM Studio. I am Rama and I'm here to share my ARE exam journey and help you out with any tips or tricks that I learned along the way. In today's video, we're going to talk about ways to tackle flashcards and use them effectively. Flashcards are really instrumental in helping me pass my exams, so I'd really love to share the ways that I've used them and really got the most out of them. So number one is to make your own flashcards. There are test prep providers out there who create flashcard decks specifically for the ARE. I actually think that we had a set of them in my office when I first started. However, I really recommend making your own flashcards. The process of creating them is another way to sort of learn information and at least digest it once as you're writing them. So that's one great reason to write your own. And there's lots of digital formats such as Quizlet, which can be really helpful instead of having piles and piles of paper. That's why I liked using Quizlet because, carrying around big decks of flashcards was very inconvenient for me. So I really liked being able to have it all digitally. And Quizlet is also very helpful in that it has an actual app, so you can sort of easily use the flashcards on your phone. And number two, you can mix pictures and words on your flashcards. So the ARE is an architecture exam. Architecture is very visually based with lots of pictures and diagrams. And this can especially be the case when you have the more technical exams such as PPD, PDD, and CE. There's a lot of great flashcard decks out there for the construction and evaluation exam because there's so much construction terminology and materials and tools and different elements that you need to know. So being able to mix pictures or diagrams with these flashcards can be very helpful. And diagrams are great for elements with similar definitions such as HVAC systems. So being able to create diagrams for that, very simple diagrams, can really help you sort of memorize the differences between the different systems. And number three, less is more. Really try and narrow down what you're putting on a flashcard. Try and narrow it down to one actual question on the flashcard itself. I find this to be very helpful in making sure I'm actually memorizing that specific fact. Sometimes when you try to fit whole paragraphs onto a flashcard, maybe you only memorize the first line in order to answer the question. Maybe you only memorize the last line in order to, answer the question. But you're not really getting all of that information. It's just too much. It's too dense in order to get all of that information. So I really recommend that you just try and narrow it down to one question or one concept per flashcard. And really avoid lists of multiple facts. And number four, I recommend that you study flashcards in both directions. So it means memorizing both the definition and the term itself. Using this method is very helpful for, say, financial equations that you'll find in the practice management exam or the project management exam. Because, the exam question on the actual test might not ask you for, the actual term. Maybe they'll just give you the elements of that equation. So you'll need to be able to use those elements or those variables in order to answer the question. So it's very important to memorize those flashcards in both directions. And I can actually provide a link to the financial equations flashcard deck that I used on my exam. I'll provide that in the video description below. And it also helps you recalling only one side. So say, for example, you're only memorizing the definition instead of the term. That might not be very helpful. So if you memorize it sort of in both directions, you can memorize the term and the definition. All right, so those are the ways that I sort of tackled flashcards on the ARE. I'll also provide a link to Quizlet below. Quizlet was very helpful for me, and you can use it by yourself or you can use it with your study group. And I think it'll definitely be helpful for your exam process. I know it was for me. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy studying.